So the Springboks have just announced their squad for the Rugby Championship. 3 weeks away from the Springboks taking on Australia after a 2-match series up against the Irish, as well as a game up against the Portuguese. There are some changes, whether that is injury or suspension that has brought them. The Springboks, they have gone now with 33 men in their overall squad. But looking through, first of all, at the forwards, we will be going in alphabetical order, starting first with Ben Jason Dixon, the number 7 for the Stormers. He's done pretty well in terms of the minutes that he has been given for the South Africans. He did get himself a great chance in the starting lineup up against the Portuguese. He was physical alongside Evan Roos as well as Pepsi Buthelezi, and does look like a really good option in the future for the Boks. Definitely at the moment, due to Pieter-Steph du Toit being a little bit unsure how long it will be until that man does get back in the Bok kit. Pieter-Steph du Toit, though, he is in the squad, so it will be at some stage throughout the Rugby Championship. Just not too sure what week that will be. Thomas du Toit, Ebenezer, of course, anytime that man is in a squad, you know it's going to be an extremely good one. Johan Grobbelaar, Vincent Koch, Sia Khaleesi, and he will be the captain of the Springboks yet again. Elric Lowe, Frans Malherbe, Malcolm Marx, of course, did end up with that injury up against the Irish. I believe it was a break of some sort. Rassie did say he will be back relatively soon, though, so that is great news for the Springboks. Bongio Manambi, Salman Moura, he did become the 66th captain for the Springboks in his most recent test up against the Portuguese. Oxneshare, Rowan Nokia does get the chance. Now, he was one of those players who was initially left out due to the URC competition taking place and overlapping for the Bulls. They were in the semi-finals, which initially stopped them from being able to take part in that Welsh warm-up game. Quagga Smith, RG Snyman, Gerhard Stennekamp, Mako van Staden, and also Jan Hendrik Wessel. So the rumours of whether or not Steven Kitsoff would be in this team, they have been put to bed. He is not there yet, but he could be later on, of course. Looking through at a few of the other notable names that are missing out, no Franco Mostert. That was due to his injury that he had in that second test match up against the Irish. I believe just like Malcolm Marx, it was a break of some sort, although his a little bit more severe than Marx's in this case. They also have not gone with Jasper Wiese. Now, originally they did have him in the squad up against Wales as well as the Irish to try and get a few of those match suspensions off his record. Now, the fact that he's not in the squad, I assume means that his suspension is still being played out and he will then, after 3 matches, be eligible, but they have left him out of this initial Springboks squad. But looking through at the backs, it will be Lucanio Am, Kurtley Arendse, Damien Dialindi, Apelele Fassi, Sasha Feinberg, Ungume Zulu. Everyone is happy to see that man in the squad, and also everyone's excited to see if he's going to take that starting 10 spot, whether he's going to be 15, whether for some reason they change him to the centres. But throughout the games that we have seen of that man, he has been extremely strong. Cheslin Colby, Jesse Creel, Willie LaRue, Makazole Mapimpi off the hat-trick up against the Portuguese. Mani Libok, he is still there alongside Hondre Pollard. So they've gone with the 2 fly halves for the Springboks. Kobus Reinach, Morne Vandenberg, and also Grant Williams. So I think the biggest exclusion there, Faf de Klerk, not there for the Springboks. That is an interesting choice. I'm not sure if that is based around an injury, but they have gone with Morne Vandenberg, Kobus Reinach, as well as Grant Williams. So you wonder whether or not they have decided maybe Faf not in the best form. Now, of course, if he's injured, this would all be me just making assumptions, but I do like the attacking style of play that these 3 players offer. It's a little bit different to what we saw from de Klerk, and maybe that second game up against the Irish, they decided that Pollard and de Klerk combo just wasn't quite going to cut it. But their first game up against the Australians, that is going to be taking place in 3 weeks' time. Like I mentioned, I believe it's about a 6:30 a.m. kickoff for you guys in South Africa, so it is going to be an early morning start, but it should be an absolutely awesome contest. Also in the back line, no Andre Esthuizen due to suspension. Another thing that I should have mentioned, but Australia are in a little bit of a similar boat. They haven't got Filippo Ndungunu because of his suspension, so there's going to be a few big players missing from that game, whether it's injury or suspension, that has caused those exclusions. But nonetheless, do let me know what you think of this squad. A pretty small one compared to what we have seen for the Springboks in the past, but of course there are more players that will be on standby. There's more guys that could be added in at a later date, whether that's injury or something else. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.